Hello everybody, this is T with Kate's Crafty Closet, and this is week 4 of the 24-week collaboration for Christmas. So today we're going to be making this cool, cute little ornaments that I like into the Country Christmas this year, so that's what I'm going to do. These little ornaments can be made for my tree. Like, these are super simple, super easy, not hard to do. Here we go. I use this Sizzix Impresslit. This one is called Ornament, and I do have a link to my store that I have a pre-order for these. I do have some coming in as well too if you're interested in that. So we went ahead and used some Nina Desert Storm cardstock, and I cut 2 of those little ornaments out. Now I'm just going to go ahead and use some art glitter glue. It's like going to be a little bit messy, but that's okay, because I really want to get the edges more than anything. Okay, and of course I want to get the center, and I probably should have did the other step before doing this one, but that's okay. Kind of helps when I gotta do my best to make sure they are lined up and make sure they're not on the wrong side like that one was. Put them on the embossed side that's facing up. And since that's art glitter glue, I know that that side will dry rather quickly. But we can work on this side in the meantime. So again, I struggle with getting things lined up. That's just the name of the game for me. And I'm just working on this tile because I'm going to need it in a few moments. Like, I don't super get stressed out about it not being perfect. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is, like, I have some archival distressed vintage photo ink. So I'm just going to take the ink pad and I'm just going to swipe it across the top. And that pretty much is going to grab the raised edges of the embossing. And sometimes it'll get other places too, but that's okay. So I'm just going to do that. And then we're going to come in with a blending tool. And we're going to just kind of add a little bit of blend to it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and I'm just going to add a little bit of ink, mainly at the bottom, but we'll do a little bit there, but mainly at the bottom. I like it down there for some reason. Like I said, you can add as much. I mean, you can change the colors up. I'm just, like I said, I'm going with the Country Christmas theme for this year. All right, so sorry I'm out of range there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that ink pad again, and let's just go ahead and do those edges up. And like I said, it's not going to be perfectly lined up. And if you want to trim that, you most certainly can. I'm okay with it because it's homemade. All right, so the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is, like, I got to pierce a hole at the top, and that's why I am working on this tile. I'm going to take my little pokey tool, and I'm just going to push and make holes until I feel it hit like that bottom of that tile. So I know that it's gone through the paper. I'm just going to continue to kind of just wiggle and get it through. And there we go. And we're going to try to make it a little bit bigger than that. And because this is a really sturdy paper, it's not really going to rip on me. I'm not concerned about that. So I'm going to come in next with some baker's twine. This is just some red and white baker's twine. And I'm going to do my best to get that little bad boy in the hole. So we're going to try to grab our pokey tool again and just kind of give it a little push, and oftentimes it will come through, especially with that, and then we can just go ahead and pull it through. Yeah, see, there we go. Unfortunately, I really ripped it. I ripped that one, but that's okay, because you know what? See, good, y'all can see errors, right? Like I kind of shredded. So I'm just going to trim it and try it again. Like, I didn't have that issue for the first one when I made it, but that's okay. Because we can finish it. I just got to be a little bit more careful. Let's kind of see if we can make that hole a little bit. And if you have one of those tiny hole punches, I know I have one somewhere in the stash of mine, but I don't know where it's at. A normal size hole punch will be too big for the top of this, but if you can get a hold of like an 1/8 of an inch hole punch, that would be great. So here we go. Now we got it this time. Now we're cooking with grease. All right, so I'm just gonna give it a nice little tail, and we're going to trim it. All right, and then I'm just going to tie a little knot at the top, which I can use that to hang, or I can just also put a hook on it when I go to put it on the tree. And you can use many different ways for these. You can make garland out of it as well. String them all together, hang them up on a tree, on a mantle, and stuff like that. So now next we're going to come in with one of my favorite things, some plaid ribbon. I'm not the best at making bows, but you know what? We're going to go with it. And I know I make bows weird. That's just how it is. That's always how I've done things. If I could change it, I would. But you know, when I made the first bow, I got it on one shot. This one is going to prove me that you got to work for this one today. But that's okay. So here we go. We got our little bow. I'm going to pull so we can get our tails. And then we can, you know, fix the bow to our liking. It's kind of like twisty turns, do all that fun stuff. So I'm going to pull this one down just a little bit, and then try to open this one. Try to open this one up a little bit because I want that plaid to show a little bit more than what it is. It's kind of like pulling it inside out is what we're pretty much doing here. All right, there we go. I think we're good with that. And I'm not going to trim it just yet. Well, I will go ahead and trim it because I wasn't going to, but that's okay. I always do it a little bit longer than I anticipate, so it doesn't. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use some double-sided tape because that art glitter glue will make a little bit of a mess and it takes a moment to dry. But I'm just going to use a little bit of double-sided tape to hold it down. And the double-sided tape wants to stick everywhere today. And I'm just going to try to do my best. And hopefully that release paper, yeah. And see the thing about don't worry about it being over the edges because you can flip it around and make it disappear. So there is that. We're going to put it on our little ornament. And actually double-sided tape works really well. I didn't think it would, but it does. And here we go. We have our little ornament. And another thing I'm going to do, because I did do it to the first one, is kind of vintage up that ribbon a little bit, which you probably should have did off of the what you call it here, the ornament itself. So I'm just going to give our ribbon a little bit of, make it look a little bit more vintagey, and that's okay. And then most certainly can put words on there. You can put people's names on them and make their own little ornaments on the tree. But that is all I have for you all today. These are our ornaments. Super easy, not really hard to do. You can sit there and die cut a whole bunch of them at once, get the family involved, and just have a good old crafty time, right? All right, everybody. Make sure you check out my website, katescraftycloset.com. Also, make sure you check out my social media platforms as well. And thank you for being here, and have a crafty day, y'all.